Hey everybody. I haven't seen the sunroom in a while. Uh, I'm trying to decide if I like the lighting. There's a lot of light coming through this window this direction, so I turned everything around. You actually haven't seen this kind of dark. That's the other panel. It's really beautiful. I don't know, you can't see it that well though, can you? Because I'm usually on that side, except I haven't been in here since winter. So much going on. We're going to wait. We only got let's see, we've got 19, 21 people. Only got a few spots left. I'm not even sure this is poison ivy that I got now. Maybe it's something else I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to my garden. Rebecca is here, and it's a good thing. I want to talk about Rebecca. Hello, Jamila from Trinidad and Tobago. We have 25 people, 26. Hopefully a bunch of people will jump on this. I want to just talk a little bit about where I've been for 18 days. Yes, my last live stream was on the 9th, Mother's Day, believe it or not. Betty is here from Ottawa, Canada. Ryan, New Mexico. Oh, I love New Mexico. It's so beautiful. Blank space. A cheap house plant. It really depends on where you buy them. You can get cheap house plants in big box stores. Are they going to be good plants? I can't, there's no way to know. It depends on where you live, what your shopping opportunities are. The absolute best thing is to get a cutting from someone. That would be the cheapest thing. If you're trying to really save money, is to get a cutting or to get like a little baby. Some plants make their own babies, blank space. And what is your name, blank space? And where are you writing from? We try to keep track of all the states and all the countries that tune in. Gretchen is here from Texas. Matt Edwards, Boise. How is Boise these days? Let's see. Cheryl is here from Simi Valley. Ooh, I bet it's hot. I understand and Denise is here for just a moment. Denise is my local friend who just gave me the beautiful plant, which, by the way, is not quite exactly planted in the ground yet. Denise, I'm hoping it holds on for a couple more days. She has a class, so she's rushing out. Treasure Rescue Queen Bean. Is it really Mars, or you just call it that? We have someone else from San Juan, Washington, that calls where he lives Mars. Patty is here from Phoenix. Cherie Nations from Kentucky. I'm going to talk about Kentucky in a minute. Gail Davis. I didn't realize you were in Abingdon. Gail, you've been writing me a lot lately. Have we communicated about the fact that my brother's in Abingdon, and I've been to Abingdon many times? And did you see that great video I did on the mussels at the Endangered Wildlife Center up in Marion, Virginia, which is not too far from Abingdon? That's a great video. Not that many people saw it because maybe a lot of people don't even know what mussels are and how important they are to the aquatic environment. Ooh. You canned 75 jars of food and you're in a studio in Spokane. Wow. Mike from Boston. Hello, Mike from Boston. Thank you for tuning in. Ed is here. In Beverly Hills. Very hard to keep track of those two. Let's see. Okay, Mars. She says it's Mars. I'm assuming Queen Bean. I shouldn't assume anything, but what is your actual name? Near Pittsburgh. Steve is here. Oh, thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I think the lighting looks wretched, but I wonder if I turned it, if it would be any different. I was cautioned that I could get this third-party software, and that is a little better. and I would be able to look at myself before the things started and all that. Anyway, we now have 39 people. I want to, Jackie is here from Scotland. Fantastic. Ryan, Albuquerque. Let's see, who else? Jennifer, West Central Georgia. Fantastic. Okay. I want to just talk about, just for a moment, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it was very traumatic, and it's still affecting me. This is the first live stream I've had since before the tragedy that happened here on my property. And I wanted to give a shout out to everybody. I gave an opportunity, and it was a limited opportunity. I know probably a lot more people would have wanted to participate, but I did put a post on my community page because I learned after I shot that film, the video about the tragedy, the day after. I got a little bit of flack for that, for doing that from one person. But the overwhelming majority of comments that I got were incredible. And I just want to thank everybody who took the time to send me thoughtful comments on that video, which has gotten a lot of views. I think that it's a topic that is, I can't even, it's hard for me to talk about. Okay, but I do want to talk about the fact that I gave an opportunity on my community page for anyone who wished to contribute, because I learned that the family, the father and two sisters, this young man was no longer in a family unit. One child was with his mother in another state. He lived with a friend. So it wasn't the kind of situation that I thought when I made that video, which was the very next morning. I learned later in the day that he had a number of health problems, and I don't know how you can know that, if somebody just comes to work on your place. But at any rate, I wanted to thank everybody who just jumped in and was so generous. And I put my PayPal link because I didn't have permission to discuss this person or share this person on the internet. So I said, if anybody wants to, and plus GoFundMe, the funeral home actually told me this, and I have actually done a GoFundMe campaign that I did for, as you probably recall, back in 2017, I started a GoFundMe for Pat Smith's son, who didn't have a hospital bed. He was, always going to be in a hospital bed. He was disabled and 19 years old, cerebral palsy, brain injured. And when I went down to Mobile to visit her, I saw this situation, and literally she had gotten this twin bed for $50 on Facebook that he was sleeping on, and he would roll off numerous times during the day. And he's a full-size young man, and she was having to lift him. And so I said, I have got to raise the money for a hospital bed for this child, a hospital bed that goes up and down, and also one that has the mattress that has air in it, like we got from my mother. It makes all the difference. So I did a GoFundMe back then, and I didn't realize that GoFundMe takes out a commission on the front end and on the back end. And so I thought, if somebody wants to give, say, $20, and they have to pay $4 or $5 on the front end, and then $5 is taken out of that, I just gave people the opportunity on my community page to send a donation to my PayPal, and 100% of whatever I collected, I would take directly to the funeral home in cash, no commission or anything. So that's what I did. And I just want to read the names of the people, and I'm not trying to single anyone out. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad who didn't do it, because I did not leave it up past the funeral date, which was the week later. So I left it up for about a week. But I just wanted to give a shout out to the people who jumped on the train and gave some money, and that was Judy Andre, and Judy has also ordered mugs from me. Ultimate Gardening Business, Connie McGehee, who's a great friend, Beatrice, who's followed me for a long time, Upshaw, Jerry Pullman, Jennifer Miller, Pradeep Fernandez, and an old friend who actually had seen the video, and I hadn't been in touch with her since I moved to Tennessee, even though she lives in Tennessee. And she immediately made a donation. That's Rebecca Thomasuk and Janet McKnight. Yun, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Yun Huang, Susie Lide and Elizabeth Sauceda, Kathy Schmidt, Kathy Prado, and my good friend Rhonda Beershank. Thank you to all. And that together with my donation and Justin and Patricia Prim, who's one of our moderators. And if I've left anybody out, please forgive me. But I think that's everyone. So thank you so much for doing that. This is a family who could not afford to pay the funeral costs. So by raising money, I raised over half of the cost for the funeral home. And so that's great because other donations came in, and that hopefully, I think they'll go to his son. Ooh. Wow. Rebecca is sharing a very tragic story also. Lots of snow, Ryan is saying, in New Mexico. Thank you, Queen Bean. Let's see. Monica's here from Camarillo. Matthew is here from Vegas. Ann, Little Rock. Yeah, Arkansas and Kentucky, I'm going to talk about in just a second. Kylie is here. Verge Lowe from Iowa in the mid 40s. Wow, it's surprising. You think of Iowa being very cold. I mean, not very cold. Teresa wants me to get chickens. Okay, Daryl has informed me that I need to wait till spring to get chickens, and I'm so relieved because that's the time I should get chickens, because I'm so relieved because I have so much going on and so much responsibility right now that I am completely overextended. And so I wanted to, of course, and I got a gift from Rebecca at Food Forest next door, and I want to show you these beautiful books. Attracting Birds to Southern Gardens. And I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I'm looking forward to that. And this is month by month gardening in Tennessee and Kentucky, which I would think would be relatively similar. Although, is Angie on in Kentucky? She's up near Ashland, so it may be colder as you go north. But where you are and where I am, Rebecca, it's not bad. And also she sent me, and boy, do I need this. We're going to talk about that in a second. This is homemade bug repellent. It's like a cream. It smells. It has different scent. I don't know exactly what that is, but it smells good. I used it yesterday. Let's see. Sherry is here from Michigan, and Bess from Lakeland, Florida. I've been to Lakeland. Sending much love and encouragement. Boy, am I going to need that. Homemade bug repellent lotion. Oh, and she also sent, thank you for the reminder on here. It's sitting at my kitchen. A lot of people mention this Fells Naphtha soap when I was going through all the poison ivy stuff. And I really hadn't heard of, if I had, it's been a really long time. I haven't really ever used Fells Naphtha, but when she sent it, it looked familiar to me. So I have a bar of that as well. Thank you so much. That was very kind. That's what I'm hoping, Patty. I don't know if it's going to make my back stronger, though. My back is killing me. Nana is in the house in England. Thank you for joining. Rain for days. Thank you, Teresa. Kathleen is here in California. Where? Let's see. Martin G. San Antonio is in the house. Greetings. 63 of you. If anyone is brand new to my channel, I just want to give a very short introduction. I am previous to now, I was an urban gardener. I had never gardened before, and that's why I called my channel, which started sort of early on YouTube in 2012. On Earth Day 2012, I premiered episode 1. I set my show up for the first 5 years to be like a show. I've been an actor and in the entertainment business. I lived in New York for 7 years, and then in California, in Los Angeles, for a total of 32 years. And so I've been in the big city for over 40 years. So this is my first opportunity. This is my first opportunity to garden or even be on my own place in a big place like this. When I grew up, we grew up right in town. Back in the day, that was like the place to be, in town, where you could walk 3 blocks to school. I grew up in a small town in Tennessee, and you could walk to school for 3 blocks, and then you could walk to the square. It was safe to walk to the square, which was 3 blocks. My father had a business on the square, all of that. So this is a whole different experience. I don't know if you can tell. I'm sorry, I'm doing the introduction. So if you're new to my channel, I was urban gardening for 8 years, and my channel was focused on small space gardening, container gardening, rain capture, because we were literally in a drought for almost 8 of the 8 years that I was gardening. So every drop was precious. I had playlists about rain. I made rain it was an event when it rained, and I always made a video and used beautiful music and all that. Back then I had an editor, sound editor, and all of that, and I uploaded 2 short videos a month. Now, of course, on YouTube, everybody uploads like every day or 3 or 4 times a week, and it's really hard for me to get into that kind of a groove. I'm trying, but it's hard because I kind of exhaust myself out there, and then I come inside and I don't feel like standing there editing for 5 hours. And I don't know if you have a channel or you do a channel, but if you make a well-made video, it's going to take you at least 4 hours. So, and I usually spend more than that. So anyway, now for 5 months, I have been on this place, and it's been challenging and also very fulfilling and very, I'm really checking in with nature here, which is what I was hoping for. However, I don't love poison ivy, ticks, and I've had 2 tick bites, poison ivy. I think I had a tick on me today, but I reacted so quickly. I had the hose and the nozzle in my hand, squirting some water, and I felt something on my arm, and I went like that immediately, and it looked like it was a little tick walking on there. I don't know if it was, but he just washed it right off. But now, guess what? Mosquitoes. So I can't even sit out on my beautiful porch and just look at all the maple tree leaves and everything without hearing bzz, 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 bzz. And so I need the insect, but I'm not sure it's going to do the trick. I went out with just a spray today. I did this like 3 times, all over me, the food, my drink, everything, and it didn't even stop the mosquito. In fact, I took my stuff, I went inside, part of my stuff, and I went inside, and I came back out the door to get the other thing, and the mosquito had followed me inside and was on the storm door, and I just smashed it. Yesterday, I smashed one on Justin's shoulder, and I smashed one on my arm that was bloody. And I'm just going, no, I have to have a screen porch. And also, if you're new to my channel, A number of people have mentioned Justin. Well, first of all, he's a fantastic worker, but Justin is my employee. And he has been working here for a little over 2 months, I think. And we met through Nextdoor. He was looking for handyman work. And I very quickly realized how skilled he is in so many areas. You know, I will say something to him like, can you put that together? And he said, I could do that all day long. Can you do this? I could do that all day long. So it's just, you know, so much has happened since the tragedy. And I basically didn't feel like being on camera for a couple of weeks. And so, I mean, being on live or on camera, really, I just followed Justin around. Just because you only see Justin doesn't mean I wasn't working, but I just kind of followed him around. I just didn't want to be on camera. So now I'm trying to get caught up with all that. The video you shot, I know this is confusing to people, but I think the content is good and I don't want to scrap it because I took the time to shoot it. And the video that I uploaded this morning is from May 8th and the tragedy was on the 11th. So the very next video I will be editing will be after that. He was only here briefly. I was working inside that morning. I wanted Justin to kind of see how it went. He had hired him and I wanted to stay out of it. And so so many things happened after that. So many people have been here. Today I had 2 more things going on today. So it's just been every day something's been going on. And then I made a quick trip to visit a friend who wasn't feeling well. And so I've just been hopping and jumping. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I don't know if anybody's, oh my goodness, Tony's here from the Little Farmer's Farm. Oh, thank you, Tony. 84 of you, he's mentioning the thumbs up. If you could hit the thumbs up, it really helps the YouTube analytics. I would really appreciate that if we could make the thumbs up 82 like the people watching. And if you're on mobile, you can just click off the live chat and you'll see the opportunity to hit the thumbs up and then you can click right back on live chat, get right back on. Okay, so I did that. I want a screen porch. So speaking of screen porch, I just happened to be watching. I haven't actually finished it. I know that you all who watch homestead channels, I'm sure you are familiar with Danny at Deep South Homestead. And I happened to be watching his most recent Porch Time. Porch Time is one of his playlists where he expresses his views sitting on his swing on his porch, which I think is awesome. I wanted a swing on my porch, but I couldn't get a swing. This porch is kind of narrow, and the guy that was going to make me a swing was afraid it would go into my picture window and break it. So I'm getting rocking chairs. My sister-in-law is refinishing rocking chairs that I picked up, used, and she just hasn't gotten them down here yet. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. But I noticed on this Porch Time that he's in a screened-in porch. I mean, otherwise the mosquitoes will just eat you alive. So I'm going to see if there's a way to make a screen porch out there that's unobtrusive, so it doesn't look all closed in. And when you're sitting in there, you feel like you're outside. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to see if it is. Anyway, Danny was talking today that I encourage you to go and watch it. It's a really important topic. I don't get into this kind of thing too much on my channel. A lot of other people do. But it's called, the title is What Are They Not Telling Us? And I won't go into all of it on there, but he was talking about this major food operation that they are building in Kentucky, which I hadn't heard anything about. I mean, I hadn't been looking, but I hadn't heard anything about it. But it's just this massive, massive undertaking, and maybe you already know about it. And he was talking about how it sounded really good on the outside, but then he starts talking about the really consistently bad, weather in certain areas where these are our growing zones in this country where we produce a lot of food. We either have a very dry, like the drought is happening in the west, and too much rain in the middle of the country, the growing zones. So I encourage you to go and look at that and watch that, because don't be fooled that it might sound really great, but when we lose our, I've been talking about this since I started my channel. This is before all of this stuff happened. And I was talking about your own food security when I started in 2012. And that's why I was doing my utmost with what I had, that my little tiny space, to grow food and herbs and fruits. And of course, in California, you have the opportunity to grow tropical fruits, which are so fantastic. So anyway, I really encourage you to check that out and watch that, because it's very important. If we say, oh, this sounds like a great idea, then we stop bothering to try to grow our own food, and then we lose control of our own food security. So that's basically the gist of it, but please check that out. Let me just check and see if there are any. Martin G. You got your screen porch. Yes, I haven't looked back either. And for me, it's not just, I didn't just leave an environment, I left everything except my sons. My sons are elsewhere. I have one son in Idaho and Boise, and I think he's in Boise, and one in Asheville now. But yeah, my career was there, my acting career was there. And, I still get all these emails from casting places and all this stuff. And I'm just like, gee, am I still an actor? I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to do the very best that I can, making this property into a sustainable place to live. And, I've worked out a lot of those issues here. I've got the potential to keep myself warm. That was the very first thing I worked on, was this fireplace. I mean, it was a working fireplace, but I couldn't stand the way it looked. So that was the big project in January. Did a number of videos on that. Got that all squared away. I have a lot of firewood. It still needs to be organized. I need a woodshed to protect it. You can probably, no, you can't. It's right out there. Let's see, maybe too bright. Yeah, it's right over there. You can't really see it. It's too blown out. So that's food. I mean, that's warmth, heat, warmth, and then as soon as Justin came, we started working on the cistern, because I was determined to get that operational. That was Lyndon. She just bumped my table. Lyndon is doing fine, by the way, if anyone is interested. She's my 16-year-old cat. We got the cistern operational. Still got a little bit of a leak, and not sure where that's coming from. It just may be seeping from the concrete block, because it was built in 1987. Without draining it again and resealing the whole inside, I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to do about it. It's about half full right now, which means about 5,000 gallons. Got my stumps ground down today. You'll see all this in upcoming videos. I've covered everything, and I just want to have time to edit. Kevin is here from, well, I don't know if you're still in Florida or if you're in Georgia, but I think I'm doing pretty good. Deanna, how do you pronounce Deani? Deani? Oh, yes. Deani, I think we're gonna have to homeschool if we want to teach our children what they need to learn. But that's, it's easy for me to say mine are grown. So I don't know if I would say that if I had little ones at home. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. If you sing to the Son of Love and thanks, the Son will answer you with stronger healing rays. It's miraculous. That's true. And not to be a Debbie Downer, but we are experiencing CMEs right now. So if you guys, wow, that's a serious looking cloud over there. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh my gosh, Tony, I just wanted to talk about that because that's the other thing Tony is asking me from Little Farmer's Farm if he wanted me. Are you talking to me when you ask that question? Oh yeah, you are because you're saying Justin. Yes, I do. I want you to come here and build it. Come all the way here from England. Um, that's what Danny was saying at Deep South. Now, I think I mentioned that in today's video, but I'm not sure. I looked at high tunnels, caterpillar tunnels, polytunnels, greenhouses for hours and hours and hours. And I decided I wasn't going to do one right now because they're very expensive. Thousands of dollars. And so I thought I might put one over here, but there's no sun on this side of the house in the winter. So I'm going to spend thousands of dollars on a high tunnel and I'm not going to be able to use it for like 5 months of the year. I don't think so. So I sort of scrapped the idea because I can't really afford it. I mean, I can't afford it right now anyway. But Danny was saying we are going to have high tunnels. And so I'm going to have a high tunnel. I mean, this guy is a farmer and he knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to have to get one somehow. But maybe what I should do is do one for the lower down there, that covers the area that I've got the silage tarp on now. Because I don't know if it's more cost effective to just get a longer one or if it's like double. I have to really start pricing it out. But, he's just talking about you relieve so much insect pressure when you have a high tunnel. But my understanding is you still have to have fans. You still have to have, you might even have to have a cooling fan. So that means you have to have electricity. And then if you want to do you can extend the season, but it's not heated. So then you need a greenhouse. So it's like, wow, the money is just like flowing out. So I have to really start reining it in and prioritizing. Because I can't do it all. I don't have that kind of money. So I have to really figure out what the best move is. Daryl says, make the porch with the red voile. It would only last a year. It would tear. You could never do that. Beatrice is here. Beatrice, are you the same Beatrice I just read a moment ago, thanking you for your donation? I think I am. Brian is here from Raleigh. My brother used to live there. It's a very beautiful town. Hi. Oh yeah. Verge Lowe says, don't worry, the bugs will get used to me being here. And I'm sitting on my porch and I'm thinking, okay, I am at least a couple of football fields away from the nearest human. And there's a few dogs closer, I suppose. And so I'm saying, are these mosquitoes like way over at the next human? And then they know when I come out on the porch? Or do they just like sit around waiting all day thinking, okay, Kaye's going to come out and we're going to get a good bite in. But if she doesn't come out, we're just going to sit here the rest of the day? I mean, what's the thinking of a mosquito? What do you think? I mean, I can't comprehend it. I'm sitting there I spent some time out there today because Justin had an appointment which ran long, and I kept thinking, well, he's going to show up, so I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my time on the porch. And it was funny, no mosquitoes, but 3:00, it's almost like, their alarm clock goes off and they're going, let's go see if Kaye's on the porch. We'll have a nice meal. I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, about the poison ivy, the best, I got so many great suggestions, and I did buy this stuff. So I do have this. If anybody is watching, this was recommended actually at the urgent care place, and I already had some when someone else recommended it. It's a scrub, so it helps get off. But I saw a video that someone sent me, and it's a really great video. And this guy was saying he spends all this time out in nature, and he never gets a bad rash because you have to think of poison ivy. You can't see it, so it's hard to believe it's even there. But you have to think of it like it's axle grease. Have you ever tried to get axle grease off your hands? Not easy. And so you've got to have some kind of soap that cuts through that. And you've got to have like a loofah sponge, which I have a lot of because I grew loofah to great success my first time. And I got a few last year, year before last now, when I left my house. That last year, I got a few loofah from growing it that one last time. Loofah sponge or a wash rag, and you have to scrub it. So you can use Dawn dish liquid and loofah sponge and a rag, or you can use this, but you also should use a washcloth that has some texture to it. So since that's happened, I have been like eagle-eyed. There is poison ivy everywhere here. And we haven't attacked that because we've been so busy trying to get some kind of a bed prepared for me to put all these plants. What you haven't seen, what you saw this morning, is I potted up 59 tomato plants. But I think I did mention in that video that there's another round. Well, all of them now have been potted up. I didn't film it. We knocked that out 2 days ago. We did it the same way, except we did it in the shop so we could be in the shade. And I think there were about 35. So, I'm starting out with 59 plus 35, whatever that is. Oh no, I dropped one, it broke. But still, I've got a lot of tomato plants and maybe a dozen, maybe 2 dozen peppers. Not my favorite varieties. I have 2 orange Thai. If you've been following me for a long time, you know that I had this magnificent orange Thai pepper. It was 6 feet tall, and I kept it for 3 seasons. Where I was in Los Angeles is year-round gardening, and I managed to keep my peppers over the winter. I would cut them back and they would come back. Orange Thai, for me, you plant the seeds in February like you do any pepper. And because it's such a big plant, it literally set fruit like in October. But it's the peppers are so good. They're very hot, but they're so good. And I have some orange Thai videos on my channel. So if you're interested, you could check that out. But anyway, I still had some seeds, and I believe I only had 2 plants come up. And one of them, guess what? Aphids. Yeah. I had such problems with aphids in California, and guess what? They live here too. Oh yeah. So, I had that whole setup in the garage with I start inside. I have gnats inside. I've got the safer insect trap, yellow insect traps, one on each tray, collects a lot of the gnats, but not all. That's the only insect I would have in the house. And then they would move to the garage, and, very often the garage door is open because I don't have an exhaust fan in there. I need one. Because when you've got plants, you've got wet soil and everything, just the whole air of the garage gets kind of, so you need some circulating air. And for whatever reason, when they did the replacement windows, they put in fixed windows in almost the whole, these are all fixed windows. The only thing that opens is that little thing on that door and one here. And all of these big 4 windows are fixed glass. Fixed glass in the bathrooms. 2 bathrooms have fixed glass. That's like not even to code in California. But anyway, the picture windows in the front, and then all the windows in the garage are all fixed glass. So it's like, how do I get the air circulated in there? Anyway, I came in day before yesterday and I saw that these plants that were, what's that? Bugs everywhere. I came in, I saw that there were aphids all over the 2 trays of vegetables, and I was beside myself. I ran to get Captain Jack. You use Captain Jack's dead bug brew, but I actually don't know if Captain Jack's works on aphids, but there were literally thousands of aphid nymphs on these little seedlings. Very disappointing. But you know what? I still have hundreds of plants, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see. Yes, the market is crazy right now, Teresa. I have a friend who's trying to move from San Diego to Tennessee. She's looking for a place and having a hard time. She's having a hard time even finding a realtor to take her calls. It's crazy. I am way behind on comments here. Let's see. Martin, if you're still there, Martin G, you left Los Angeles 25 years ago. Where did you buy land? You may have already said, but I don't remember. Where did you post that, Cherie? Or is it Cherie or Cherie Nations? Yeah, App Harvest. That was the name of it. Where did you post that? Angie, have you heard of App Harvest in Kentucky? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Mary is here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, that's one reason I don't want a pond. My goodness, they find, a mosquito can lay eggs and hatch eggs in a tablespoon of water. A tablespoon. So if you have a saucer underneath your potted plant and you outside and you water it, I mean, you don't even have to have a pond. It's really something. 120. Thank you for joining me. If you're new to my channel, I was an urban gardener for 8 years. I am new at the whole homesteading thing. I'm sort of a late bloomer. I've always been a late bloomer. I say I was like the last person to get a VHS player, the last person to get a DVD player, the last person to get a cell phone. I was just like always late. So anyway, I was late to gardening. Both parents, my grandparents were farmers, but it skipped a generation. My father was a businessman. My mother, she did gardening, but just the landscape stuff. The only time she ever tried to grow any food was she had this whole stand of tomatoes in our backyard. One year this happened.
and she looked out the windows. It was dropped down. If you looked out the bathroom window, you were looking down. She looked down, she saw it's a big concrete patio and then a little area where she had planted some tomato plants, and she saw a copperhead going across through there to the tomatoes. And I can't remember now who killed the snake. It was either she or my father. I think my father killed the snake. And she went down there with a hoe and chopped every tomato plant down. That's my mother. 60 acres greenhouse. Yeah. See, that's just, and Verge, I'm so glad that you're new, that you've joined my channel. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Wow, I'm so far behind. Hold on. Yeah. Ryan, if you're asking me, I could have gone from the small plants into the ground, but I don't have the ground ready. And after hearing Danny today, I'm back to thinking I should have a small hoop house over here, but I couldn't even get one that size. This I think we measured out 20 by 30 over here. I've got a silage tarp down over here. You haven't seen that yet. That happened the morning of the accident, the tragedy, and I haven't even shown that in a video yet. But it's now been down for 2 weeks, and the big tarp down below has been down for 3 weeks. Let's see, it was the 5th. This is the 22nd. So 5 from 22 is 17 days, right? That can't be right. Wait. Yeah, it is right. No, today's the 27th. 5 from 7 is 22 days. That's been down for 22 days. So they say anytime after 3 weeks, it could be ready. But I managed to get Farmer's Friend, which is where I bought these silage tarps. I managed to get somebody on the phone. They called me back. They're very busy. And she said that, I'm not doing it just for weed suppression. I am killing lawn. So she said, you're probably going to have to do it longer than 3 weeks. My plan down below in the big one is to do, when I do take the tarp up, I'm hoping not to have to till it. We'll see. And I'm also, a lot of people have recommended me to Haas Tools, and I have checked them out. I have a tab up here. I wanted to tell you what my tabs are up here, because it's just, this tells you how I think and what I'm thinking about. I have like 20 tabs open on my browser. Anyway, I was looking at Haas Tools because I was desperate to find a tiller, because I just had to get a tiller, and you can't find one. I don't know if anybody's tried to find one. You can't find one. And the hardware store around here said that they've had 45 tillers on order for 3 months. They can't get one. He said I could sell 100 tillers right now if I had them. And, Home Depot has 2 to rent, just the dinky little thing without wheels. I mean, you have to just manhandle it to, and I just thought, no. Or they have the big humongous one that I have to rent the trailer and do all of that again. And so I just thought, man, by the time I do all that and pay their fee, I forget what they call that fee, but it's like they tack on another $100 just to, I don't know, make sure it's not damaged or something. And, by the time you get out of there, you've plucked down another almost $150. And if you can get a rear tined tiller for like $700-800, then you've already, you might as well just buy one. But I couldn't find the one I wanted. I wanted a tiller that was made in the United States. I was desperate for that, but you can't find them. They're not in the stores. I mean, even Walmart, they said there's no pickup, and you have to order it online.
and you get it sometime in June. I'm going, no, I need it now. So we bought a Yard Max, which has an engine, Brigham's and Stratton or something like that. And Justin said that's a good motor. And I think the motor is made in the US. Anyway, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to get a Troy Built or Cub Cadet because they're both made in Mississippi. That's what I wanted. That's not what happened. We called all over and just couldn't find it. Thank you, Sarah. That's very sweet. I have spent a lot of my life in Daytona Beach, Florida. Oh, Tony is here from Simplify Gardening. I was just thinking of you today, Tony. Oh, wow. Are you only going to put the 40 in? Maybe you could sell them. Have you tried to sell them? I thought maybe that's what I would do, just try to sell them. But I think if I sell a plant and then it gets aphids or it gets mildew or something, they think they would think it was my fault and they wouldn't want to buy anything from me anymore. And I haven't even tried to do that. Hey, Susie is here. Yes, always better late than never. I'm always late. Crafty Stash is here. Oh, I know. No-see-ums. AKA chiggers, right? Are no-see-ums chiggers? Or is that another nasty thing? I think, Matthew, I do think it has something to do with blood type, but I'm not sure. Thank you, Tony. Oh my goodness, Winsome Winslet. Oh, how sweet of you. What is your actual name? Oh, Pervy Prepper is here too. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't usually do Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday. It's so funny. I was thinking it was Wednesday, and a friend sent, I have a wonderful friend, Vanita. You've heard about Vanita. I actually have two Vanitas now, but Vanita, that was my angel that helped me get out of California, get out of my house, get out of my apartment, and get out of town. She sends these beautiful little cards, through the texting every day, and it says, Happy Thursday. And I went, wait, what? I thought it was Wednesday. I'm doing a live stream today because I thought it was Wednesday. Oh, well. Anyway, I'm glad you tuned in, Pervy Prepper. I keep hearing about cattle panel greenhouse, and but I haven't seen a video. Maybe you could send me a link or something, Teresa, because I just don't know what that could look like. Huh. 20-foot rebar, but it doesn't bend, does it? Rebar doesn't bend. I'm looking at Eric's comment about they build high tunnels out of 5/8-inch rebar covered with irrigation tubing. But does that bend? Is it cheaper or I see, I don't know how they're usually made. Mix is here from Latvia. Fantastic. Hi, Mix. How are you doing? Deborah is asking, I am going to see what I produce. I would love to. I am planning the area down there. We are planning like a little drive. Well, I don't want people driving into the yard, but down there where the drive into the yard will be for, like, if I have to bring in a tractor or something like that, or my pickup truck. Beside that, under that big tree, I'm hoping to put a picnic table there and just have maybe have a, what do you call it when you just trust people to pay, and just have a few things down there, see how it goes. Because I've got quite a few eggplant plants, and I can only eat so many eggplant, So I'm hoping. I don't know. Has anybody ever frozen or preserved eggplant? I've never done that because it's kind of really gross, if it's not fresh. And I don't know if it would be what it would be like reconstituted or something. Has anybody done that? Patty Peterson is here. Fantastic. Justin was just there this morning. Murfreesboro is really a huge extension of Nashville, though. I mean, it's just city. I suppose you can get in a nice neighborhood where it doesn't feel so. But once you get out, because I lived in Washington D.C. right after college. I went to Manhattan, and then I went to Los Angeles. And I'm telling you, I am over living in cities. Over it. Totally over it. I love the peace and quiet here. But yes, it's not far. I don't know who to get a secondhand tunnel from, Tony, but that's to Tony, if you're still there, because I'm behind. I'm trying to visualize. Was that a tunnel that you go in where you were growing some that we went in when I visited? Was that a tunnel? You had your water capture in the front, your big 2 or 3 of those cubes in the front, and then we walked in and you were growing peppers and some giant vegetables, and I'm trying to visualize what else was in there. Was that a tunnel? I was thinking it was more like a house, more like a greenhouse. But I do need help with this, everybody. So let me know. Which Teresa's so good with trying to figure stuff out. Which company? Oh, thank you so much, Deborah. Well, it's all in Follow My Journey. If that playlist, a lot of times I would put everything that was happening in Follow My Journey. Once things started to shift, and I still haven't done the Why I Left California video. It's just so much going on, and that takes a lot of thought, and I just haven't done it. But anyway, you can get a good idea from watching that playlist, Follow My Journey. Yes, Tony, the pensions, everyone, when I first heard from Hazel that everyone in the UK who retires becomes known as a pensioner. And it's so funny because in this country, unless you pay into a pension, just because you're retired doesn't mean you're a pensioner. You have to have paid into one. And so, but I guess you just automatically get that in the UK. But yeah, I'm sure they're trying to get rid of that as fast as they can because they're broke. So's our country. Tommy Johnson is here from Bossier City, Louisiana. I'm saying Bossier because that's more of a French pronunciation. I don't know if it's the way you do it. Talk about mosquitoes. Some of the biggest, I'm not even going to say what word I was thinking because it was profane. Mosquitoes. And I mean, I just remember the first time I went to Louisiana, we were camping. This was when I was young, and we were camping in our Willie's wagon, and those mosquitoes could get into that wagon, and you lay your head down and you hear this high-pitched buzzing in your ear, and you just, oh my gosh, they were something else. What do you do about mosquitoes, Tommy? Just curious. Anyway, Deborah, I really appreciate you binge watching. All that really helps the YouTube analytics a lot. We have 124 people. We have 107 likes. Thank you so much for liking. If you don't know how to like this live stream, if you're on mobile, you can click off the live chat, hit the thumbs up button, and come right back on. And I would really appreciate that. Patty is from Norman, Oklahoma. Let's see. So anyway, Deborah, the only reason that I would be planting this many plants is to sell them, or it depends. Maybe I could help somebody out in need. It depends on what happens. Things are so up in the air in our world. I just want to be prepared. And I think Teresa said it best. What did she just say? You just need to be ready for anything. And now I scrolled back, and now Winsome Winslet gave a super chat donation. It's been a while since I had one of those. So anybody who cares to make a super chat donation, it's kind of catching. And so one person does it, other people do it. Every dollar helps to support this channel. So I really appreciate it. Let's see. Starting loofah. Well, good luck with that. You're not exactly in a tropical kind of climate up there. I suppose if you have a lot of hot weather that you could grow it. Tony would know. Tony, do you grow the other Tony? Do you Simplify Gardening? Do you grow loofah? Let's see, Tony, do you get sun gold tomatoes over there in the States? They are the bomb. Yes, I don't have any growing, but yes, everybody loves sun gold tomatoes. Kel, I know, right? The one in my kitchen actually looks like it's fixed, but it opens a crack or something. And I'm not sure there's even a screen. So I can't open a single window in this place until I make sure I have screens. Well, that sounds like me, Sherry. I had so many, all my tomatoes, well, not all, I shouldn't say all. My problem is I had so little space in my California garden, and I would grow tomatoes in the same beds. And year after year, it's really hard to get rid of, it doesn't freeze there. It's really hard to get rid of the fungal diseases if you don't have hard freezes. So I'm looking forward to hard freezes here to kill off fungal disease. But you know what? I went to a nursery the last time I saw my mother, which was a week and a half ago. I didn't manage to get there on Sunday. And I bought some plants, which was insane. I have way too many plants sitting on my driveway waiting for a home. But I bought a phlox to go with a hibiscus that I bought. And that phlox is covered in mildew. And the plant's like this big. The leaves are white. And I think I prepared myself by having neem oil, but I don't know where it is. We really have to get organized. Oh my gosh, toxic. You don't get bit by mosquitoes. Daryl, I said when I did leave Tennessee after college, I said I'd never live in Tennessee. Here I am. I know. I love bluegrass music. And I was just watching, I was actually, Tony, I just sent this to Tony. It was an unusual video made back in black and white. And it was about this teacher teaching these young, like 10, 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old students how to do this particular clog dance, this Welsh dance. And it was a very unusual film. And it was saying that they learned part of the steps and movements from the Africans and from the Cossacks, which I thought was really interesting. Let's see. I could get a 3 by 12 foot trampoline. I could get 3 12-foot trampolines and make a 12 by 24 hoop house tunnel for next to nothing. Huh. What do you mean hour? Oh, to look at them. But where am I going to get a recycled trampoline? That's what I don't understand. I'm going to have to watch the video. Oh, yes. Somebody was just telling me I had to get a zapper, a bug zapper. I'm going to be putting a bug zapper on my front porch, Jamila, that's for sure. It all started with a leaky cistern. That could be a book. Thank you, Pervy Prepper, for Dot Thomas is here from NH. Judy from Louisiana. Let's see. Wilson Santa Maria, $20 super chat donation. Thank you so much. That is so kind. I really appreciate it. Teresa, what are you saying? Buy nothing, Tennessee in FB. What does that mean? Can you put some more prepositions or something in there? Well, you know how we watch things on YouTube. I don't have a TV or anything. So if I just want a diversion, I watch YouTube videos, obviously. And so I had watched these, they were Appalachian clogging, it's buckwing dancing. I had watched a couple of those, and then it offered me this Welsh video, and I watched that, and then it offered me Dolly Parton in Ireland, and she was on vacation in Ireland, and she was just in this pub where they had music, and they asked her to sing. Of course, she was in her wig and makeup, and everything was, perfect. But it was just this pub with this band, and they knew the Coat of Many Colors, that song that she sang, the Coat of Many Colors, that my mama gave to me. It's a really great song. And I just, you just go from one to the other, and then 20 minutes goes by, 30 minutes goes by, and you go, what happened? What happened to me? I just got lost in this thread of a very, and then I find myself watching Tim Conway and Carol Burnett and just like laughing my head off. Tim Conway has to be like the funniest person who's ever lived. I mean, he was so incredibly funny. He could just do anything with a straight face, and just people would just fall over laughing. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, Teresa, I am going to have to talk to you on text about that, because I'm a little too wrapped up in everything here to focus on that. Thank you, Martin. Use cinnamon. It's anti-fungus and smells great. Cinnamon for what? What are we talking about? Pervy, you writing this book for me. Just save all these, okay? Please. Oh, yes, it's too dry in New Mexico. Oh, yeah, that's the great thing about Phoenix or New Mexico is just stop. Oh, yes, I have seen geodesic dome greenhouse, but the problem is it's round and everything's on a slope here. So I'm thinking that if I want to have a greenhouse, it should be out there where I get sun the most part of the day. And it needs to look like it goes with the house so that, if I had to sell the property, people would go, "Ooh, that's pretty. I want to." So I found this. Oh, by the way, have you ever heard of Texas greenhouses? This company has been around for like decades, maybe 40, 50, 60 years. I don't know, something. In fact, I was going to read you this. This is so funny. I just want to read you the tabs. Okay. Tab number 1. I have saved all these tabs on my browser. This is what's his name? Curtis Stone. He's got his own thing now that you pay for. You pay almost $20 a month. You have to join, and it's called From the Field. And the slogan is it's like Netflix for farmers. It's a streaming service for small farmers who want to shorten their learning curve through best practices and weekly inspiration, hosted by Curtis Stone. And I thought, I really want to watch that. Maybe they have a free month or something. You could see if you actually use it. My problem is I would want to watch it, but would I actually do it? I have been paying for Netflix since I used to watch Netflix, which has now been probably a year and a half that I haven't watched it. And I've just wasted all of that money, and Hulu, and probably something else. And okay, next tab is Scuppernong grapes are the stuff of Southern legend. This is in Southern Living magazine, online magazine. And Scuppernong, all Scuppernongs are muscadine, but all muscadine are not Scuppernong. That is the only thing I remember from this article. So I thought, well, I better save that article because I want to read that. And I have another one from the Brighteon store that says why you should stock up on Iosat potassium iodide. And I'm going, I have no idea what that even is, but if I need to stock up on it, I better read that. Then I have somebody recommend somewhere I heard that Kathy's Rust is this most amazing chrysanthemum. And this one blooms in the fall. So I thought, well, I've got time to get it. So I was trying to figure out where to get those because they don't have them in the local stores or anything. So I'm going to have to order it. But this comes from Oregon. And I'm thinking, I need to order some mums that are local. And then the next tab is Tai Nursery because I was looking for white pine. I was looking for Eastern white pine. They don't have any. And then I was looking for willow trees. They don't have any. They have other trees. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it's out of stock. They're all out of stock. I want to get some white pines because you haven't seen what happened over here yet. That's a big video.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode.
And then I'm saving this M.I. Gardener video. Plants you can intercrop with tomatoes to maximize yield and protect soil health. What a great title. If I could come up with titles like that, my channel would, he's got 1 million views on that one video. I mean, come on. Why can't I be that clever? This one is chicken coop build. So this is a guy, a really good carpenter building a chicken coop. So I saved that. And then I've got food forest abundance. And this is a design of a beautiful permaculture forest, and a permaculture garden. And I thought, wow, if I had something like that in my front yard, that's like to die for. But it's like, I don't know how you begin to protect that stuff from deer. I mean, I planted, let's see, do-it-yourself greenhouse kits. What is evaporative cooling? How to grow grapevines. Eastern white pine to order at Arbor Day Foundation. The benefits of tilling. This is on the Troy Built website. This is the one I wanted, couldn't find. Customer support at Farmer's Friend. I don't know what that was. It's gone. And I'm looking at a 2-inch bamboo natural latex topper for my mattress because I'm having a lot of problems with my hip pain. And then there I am. Okay. All right, everybody. We are at 6:14. We're way overdue to leave. I'm way overdue to leave. We have 138 people. I'm so grateful that you all tuned in. If I seem a little frantic, I'm sorry. I feel a little thing. I think it's the CMEs. I'm going to blame it on the CMEs that are hitting Earth from the sun. I just want to see if there are any other questions real quick. And thank you both for your super chat donations. I really appreciate it. Yes, Toby Henderson, it is live, and I'm just seeing your comment. Okay, see it, Tony. Fantastic, Toby. That is fantastic. Congratulations. He's closing on a farm. How big is it? Tomorrow in New Hampshire. Trampolines are on Free Cycle or Craigslist. Ooh, Craigslist. Facebook Marketplace. I will. Thank you. Oh, shoot. I missed some things. Sherry sews. Someone asked me that earlier, and if I do, it'll be in the spring. I'm not going to do it this year because I have so much that I really have to do. And I'm considering taking some kittens, rescuing some kittens, and seeing if I can find homes for them here, and trying to get all this planted and everything. And so I have never had chickens, and I really can't get animals without researching them. You're still there? Oh, Patty, take care. Oh, I know. We had standards back in the day, Sherry. Lucy, I thought somebody might say in my, the video that I did with a silage tarp, and my cowboy hat was up like that, and my hair was pulled back, and I had a little bun in the back, and I thought I looked just like Lucille Ball. I thought for sure somebody would say that. Wow, it's huge. Fantastic. Louise is here. Yeah, mine too, Verge. What? 100 acres? Oh my Lord. That's fantastic, Toby. Thanks, Perby Prepper. What is your name? I learned that waggle dance for that video, and I immediately forgot it. So I would have to relearn it again. I don't even remember what I did. Wait, what song have you played three times this week? Somebody mentioned some song, and I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Jerry, are you just tuning in? Because I got your thing, but I think you must have been watching your whole time because you. Oh, thank you so much. I love you too. Thank you. It's funny. That's Ed O'Neill you're talking about. Wait, who just said that? Oh, Tony, yeah. Actually, I'm friendly with Ed O'Neill's. I'm friendly with Ed, and his wife Kathy we're friends. Our kids went to the same school, and she started hiring me to do their parties, to photograph their parties. And so I saw him like 2 or 3 times a year. He was always very friendly. If you're talking to me about my potatoes, they did look fantastic. And then we got hit with this 91-degree thing on, when was it, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. And now I got a lot of yellow leaves, and they never bloomed. And so I don't know if I've got potatoes or what. Did I ever meet Clint? I'm trying to think, because I didn't actually meet him, but one of his wives, they had a daughter, and the daughter was in my son's school. And so I saw him at events there. That's very common, to see. I mean, my other son was at Brentwood, which is where the Schwarzeneggers went to high school. So you would see Arnold and Maria there frequently until that blew up. I actually, and then because our kids were Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson's, their sons were the same age as mine, and they played soccer at the same time, and you would see famous people like that in situations like that. But people don't bother famous people. It's just not cool. Especially, I'm an actor, so I wouldn't do that. But if somebody, thank you, Allison. Well, I think we wouldn't have gotten 4 pounds of strawberries today, but because Justin ran so late with that thing, we never got to harvest strawberries. They're probably going to be bad by tomorrow. I kept thinking he was going to get here, and he's better at it than me, and he can reach farther. And I thought, I'm going to let him do it. And it just never got done. So hopefully I'll get a pound or 2 tomorrow. Jonathan Winters, amazing. Oh, James Arness was awesome. Okay, bye, Tony. I guess you're already gone. Let's see. Oh, I've got a Beverly Hillbillies story if anybody wants to hear that. When I first got to LA, I was looking for a place, and everybody wants, back then, I guess they still do. Everybody, when they get to LA, actors go out. We used to go out in January for pilot season. They don't have any sort of season anymore. The internet changed all of that, Netflix and all those shows and all the reality shows. It changed everything. But anyway, I went way back then, and I thought, well, if I could just get into a guest house. And I became friends with an interior designer who's passed away. She got Alzheimer's. She passed away some time ago. She was older than me, and she always did this certain woman's houses and apartments, and so she knew I was looking for a place. And so I got this guest house that was, it was in Bel Air, and in a very expensive property. She had very expensive art, and her mother's white vintage Rolls Royce in the garage. And the guest house was a very large room it was all new. And big bathroom, and her son had been living in there. He graduated from high school and he went on his European tour, of course, after high school. And so she said, she rented this to me. My friend put us together and she rented this to me. And it had brand new Berber carpet, and it had an over king size black lacquer bed with Pratisi sheets and maid service. And I was just this actor trying to, that was insane. I said, well, how much do you want to charge me? And she said, oh, I thought 180. And it was like, at the time, they were going for like 900, 1,000 to 1,200, that range, And I wound up living there for several months before things changed. But that was very interesting. I got to go to the Lakers, sit courtside. She was gone for a while, and so she said I could go to the Lakers games with her boyfriend in his vintage Ferrari. Was it? Anyway, she grew up. She grew up in the house that they used for the exteriors of the Beverly Hillbillies. She grew up in that house. So that's my connection to Beverly Hillbillies. And she said they didn't have a fence around it at the time, when she lived there. And once they started filming the show, they would come home and there would be all these tourists like picnicking on their yard. Oh gosh, that's just part of the story. Hey, Carl. Let's see. Somebody said I just joined a few minutes ago. Let's see. Blanca is here from Massachusetts. I'm just getting off. Thank you for joining Okay, that's great. Let's see. Okay, people are signing off. Ellie Mae Clampett. That's funny. No, I'm not going to keep all 4 of the cats, although they are sisters and brothers. I checked them, 2 girls and 2 boys. I thought the 2 girls were boys. And I had already named them boys' names, but I just sort of made it into a girl's name. Your property has worms for days. Can you ship me some of your worms, Toby? I think he's gone already. Thank you, Sherry. I really appreciate that. Teresa Patrick from Kingsport, Tennessee. Hang a beer in a wet sock. I don't know what are we talking about? Oh, fantastic, Sherry. Well, I have a whole playlist of live streams and like probably 800 videos. So there's lots to see on my channel. Eastern North Carolina? Oh dear. My son's in Asheville. Shilpanwita. Hello, thank you for joining. I'm good, but you need to watch some of my recent videos to find out all that's been going on. Mary B. Hello, J Red, Michigan. Wow. Thank you for jumping on. And Mernita is here from Buffalo. No worries, Happy. We're just getting off. Yeah, I just can't believe you're still in Hollywood. I have a good friend I talk to, almost every day or two from Hollywood, and it's so weird. I just keep hearing reports about how weird it is, and I'm just going, I can't. When he was one of the last people I had lunch with before I left, and I drove into West Hollywood. It was hot. There was no place to park. It was loud. It was noisy. There were people on the streets that were harassing us, and I just thought, I'm going to a better place. Oh. Anyway, 32 years is long enough. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. And we managed to get this more than the people watching. So that's awesome. Thank you for your donations. Please buy a Late Bloomer t-shirt. You can find the link on almost all of the videos. I haven't put it on the most recent 2 or 3, but it's usually the pinned comment after the first. If you buy a Late Bloomer t-shirt, of course, it helps my channel. And of course, I posted on my community page. I've got a few more of the Late Bloomer Gardener mugs and Late Bloomer Homestead that I had. These are custom mugs that I have made. And I think there's a total of 10 or something. So if you're interested in doing that, just look at the description underneath the video, and there's an explanation how to do that. So thank you so much. God bless you. Stay well, and take care. Love you. Good night, Debbie.